I guess mostly the biggest thing that I remember was music class. I'm sitting here, I'm trying to think. I remember music class, and I remember the one day I picked up gum off the bench and put it in my mouth, and my teacher told me, no, I can't do that. I was like in, like first few days of first grade, and one of the fifth graders had left gum on the bench, and that was a really disgusting thing for me to have done. But I was in the first grade, I was like 6 years old. But I remember switching to this new school, and I kept getting lost on my way to my classroom because my classroom was all the way in the back. And even to this day, I still have dreams. This school comes back and haunts me in my dreams. It's just, I guess, because it's a familiar building. I'll have a mixture of Thurgood Elementary and Independence Middle School, like all put together in one big building in my dreams. I'm usually running and trying to catch the bus because I used to miss the bus a lot as a kid. My mom would get really upset with me for that. My mom had problems while I was growing up, medical problems that she couldn't get looked at because we didn't have insurance, and it really affected her moods. And I was not helping matters any. I was a very rebellious child. Um, I was getting into trouble at school, getting detentions, being late to class. Even in elementary school. In elementary school, I had a stealing problem. And it was because I wanted things that the other kids had that my mom couldn't afford. And on a level, I knew my mom couldn't afford them. But on another level, I was afraid to even ask her. So I'd just take what I thought I needed or what I wanted from the other kids. And that wasn't fair of me. It obviously wasn't right of me. Um, this behavior did last clear through until high school. Although in high school, it became more lunch money, school supplies, books from the library than it was just random crap. Um, I still have a memory of my fourth grade class. I got into one of the other girls' book bags, and she had like those 6 foot long gum rolls, and I must have taken like 8 pieces and had a wad like this big stuck in my mouth. And of course, the teacher caught me, and it was really bad. I was in and out of the principal's office so often. Half the time for not doing my work or not being able to focus, and half the time for stealing, I think. And I don't think I had ADD. I think I just wasn't being challenged very much. Um, because I look back at that time and I could do the work, just why? I know I'm going to run circles around the other kids. And during this time period, my mom was dating this guy named Rick, and he was like this uber Christian fanatic. I'm trying to think of a semi nice way to put this. He was a fanatic, and when it was time to punish me or my brother or my sister for stealing or anything like that, he would have us do exercises and hold weird positions. And I guess I should have realized on a level that that's what he wanted my mom to do, but she was too straight laced to do it, so he was having us kids do it instead. I didn't like Rick very much as a kid. He lived in a trailer, which of course made my mom's townhouse very appealing to him, and I had a lot of problems with him taking so much control. I remember the day my mom said Rick wasn't going to be coming back. I was so happy. She started going to these Christian singles mixers, and I was about 12 or 13, I guess, when she brought Kenny home for the first time. And my brother's like, ooh, another guy, so gets his toys down and wants him to put batteries in them, and guy stuff. But I hid up in my room because Kenny was and is a very nice guy. And at first, Rick came off as being a very nice guy, and it disturbed me on a level that my mother was bringing home someone else. I didn't realize, of course, at the age, that she had been seeing him at these singles mixers for probably close to 6 months before she brought him to meet us. She waited a decent amount of time. I think they dated probably for close to a year before they got married, which was a very long time for me back then. It's not very long now, but it was a very long time back then. And Kenny didn't agree with some of the stuff my mom did. When I would get detentions, my mom would spank me. She'd spanked me my whole childhood, really. With Mr. Wooden Spoon is the youngest thing I can remember her spanking me with, and then it progressed to a fly swatter until the plastic part broke off the end, and she cut me one day. She didn't do that anymore, but then she started with a belt, and the belt hurt a lot. She would make me tell her what weeks I had health and what weeks I had PE. And the weeks I had health would be the weeks that she would really lay into me. That way the girls couldn't report it. I remember one day I was in middle school and my mom got upset with me one morning. I don't even remember what for. But she dragged me across the living room by my hair over to near where the fireplace was. And she just yelled at me. And then she kicked me out of the house and made me go get on the bus. And when I was on the bus, my worst enemy, the girl that teased me so much worse than everybody else, got off the bus and went and told the guidance counselor that something was wrong. That still makes me tear up today, the fact that she could put aside our teenage differences, and when somebody really needed help, she was there.